carving of Lord Shiva doing his cosmic dance. But there's something weird about this. How many legs does he have? Three. And also notice his hands. How many hands does he have? That's right, three hands. Let's look at another carving of Shiva. Here too, he's dancing, but notice that he has three legs, not two. So we can see him in three different leg positions. 1, 2, and 3. But again, notice that he also has three hands. And if you focus on the hands alone, you will get three different hand positions. 1, 2, and 3. But what happens when you start looking at the carving with the hands and legs? The result is mesmerizing. This is dancing position number 1. Dancing posture 2. The third position looks like this. This is position number 4. This is the fifth position, and this is the last or sixth position. For humans, this is 3 plus 3, so a total of 6 positions. But maybe Lord Shiva uses 3 times 3, so maybe he's capable of these 3 positions as well. If this is not enough, look at this carving. It not only shows Shiva with 3 legs and 3 hands, and he even has 3 heads. How many positions would you get with this carving? 9, 12, 18. Now forget Shiva. Let's look at his guards. See how he has 2 giant guardian doorkeepers. The guardian of Shiva is called Nandi, and this is how he is carved here. But if you're a Hindu, you'll say, wait a minute, that's not how a Nandi is usually shown. He's usually shown as a bull, right? This is how a typical Nandi is carved. But this guardian does not look like a bull. Are you sure about that? Look carefully and you will see the bull's face on his body. This is a very stealthy optical illusion. 99% of the people who visit this temple will not even realize that this is a bull's face. See how the nipples make up his eyes and his belly fat makes up the bull's mouth. You can even see how the horns are going up. You can see this carved on the other guardian on that side as well. I call them ninja Nandis because this is a very stealthy, secretive way of hiding in plain sight. And look at this one. This is also a Nandi. It looks somewhat human, but when we zoom out, you realize there are 2 faces. There is also a bull overlapping the human-like face. If you want to see a human, you will see a human. And if you want to see the bull, you can see the bull. And if you look at the side view, the sculptor has carved the entire bull's body with the hump and all 4 legs. So this is a spectacular carving of the ninja Nandi. But Nandi is not the only ninja hiding in plain sight. When you visit ancient Indian temples, you can miss the illusions that are right before your eyes. Unlike ancient boulders, modern human beings are not designed to absorb 100% of the information they see. Look at this carving. What do you see? A calf is drinking milk from its mother, and the cow is licking its baby. What else do you see? Why does the cow have an unusually thick leg in the front? Is there some maya, some illusion hiding in this carving? Let's look at a similar carving in Mahabalipuram. This is 1,300 years old, so it has faded a little bit, but it shows the same thing. A cow licking its calf while the baby is drinking milk, right? But again, there is something different about the front legs, right? If you cover this part of the carving, suddenly you can see an elephant, a mother elephant with a baby elephant standing between her legs. This is probably the world's oldest optical illusion and is 1300 years old. Again, 99% of visitors would never guess that this is an optical illusion. There are many such stealthy optical illusions in ancient temples. They're hiding in plain sight. I don't think modern humans have the vision to seek and find them. Here you can see a warrior on a horse throwing a spear, and there's a guy standing on the ground level defending the spear with his sword. But its face is not visible and we only see a large round shield. But look inside the shield. What do you see? Is that a monkey? Is it holding a baby monkey by its tail? Here you can see Lord Krishna playing his magical flute and flanked by two women. Even a snake is shown dancing at the bottom as though it is hypnotized by his flute. And look at this illusion. The animal, a dog, is also howling, basically singing along with the music. And you can see its movement. Look at the moving outline of its body. And the women are also mesmerized by him. You can see this woman pointing at him. And on top, you can see two goats together, almost shown loving each other. Very rare to see such a sight in real life, but the idea is to show that the music coming out of Krishna's flute would sound like a mating call for every animal and bird. On top, you can see all the saints getting enchanted with this. And on this side, you can see a couple also hypnotized by Lord Krishna. While everyone is mesmerized by Lord Krishna, there is someone who's inspired by him. Look at this monkey. He is using this opportunity to steal butter from this pot. This guy is so enchanted by Krishna's music, he's not noticing anything. In the same temple, you can see Krishna himself stealing butter from pots hanging from the ceiling. His friends know that he will get the butter and share it with them. But look below, there's a clever rat. It knows some butter would spill on the floor and he can feast on it. Ancient texts are full of stories about how Krishna stole butter. But here, the monkey is stealing butter right in front of him. Does Krishna know that he's stealing right in front of him? Right now, we are not mesmerized by Krishna's music. We are actually mesmerized by the artistic talent of ancient builders. But the real illusion lies below. You see this row of tiny carvings? What are they? Are they monkeys? Isn't there something strange about them? But it's not clear, so let me show you a similar carving I found nearby. What is going on here? At first sight, this is quite confusing. We can see three monkey heads, but there seems to be a lot more bodies attached to them. Initially, I thought the carving was broken on top, but no, this is the whole carving. And we can see a very odd scene here. These two monkeys seem to be holding something on the top, while the monkey at the bottom is holding the tail of the monkey in the front. This is a rare optical illusion because the two monkeys on the left and right are not part of the illusion. Only the monkey in the center is doing the magic. First, the monkey appears to be sitting, squatting on the floor, holding the tail of the monkey in the front. But then it also appears that it is standing on all four legs, again holding the tail of the monkey in the front. But there is a third position. The monkey is doing a headstand. This is a very unique posture because he's standing on just one hand and the other hand is still holding the other monkey's tail. I don't think he can balance himself like that with just one hand. This is why his friends are helping him by holding his legs in the air. It's also funny how he has kept his feet together. He's almost doing namaste with his feet. Feels like he's ridiculing the traditional namaste of humans. But wait, there is one more position that's even more crazy. Look at how he's doing acrobatics. He's bending over backwards. And in this position, he appears to be holding his own tail, almost like a circus-trained monkey. Now, let's take a look at this carving. It's kind of strange, isn't it? There are only two heads, but there are four bodies. Look at that monkey face. This is Lord Hanuman, the monkey or the ape god. In this position, he's flying in the air. He's described as being capable of flight. In this position, he appears to be sitting and looks like he's eating. And in this position, he's lying down, but his spine is really curved. And in this position, he's upside down, doing yoga. Here's another carving with the similar theme, except that this carving also shows two tails shared between the four monkeys. And I found this carving, which is even better. In the center, there's an illusion I've already shown you. There are two monkey heads, but there are four bodies connected to them. But around them, you can see 6 large monkey heads. But when we zoom in on their bodies, we're just blown away. Let's just take this monkey head at the bottom. This monkey is in the crouching position. Then he appears to be standing on all fours. And the third position is bending over backwards. But notice how each body is shared between the monkeys. If you see this body, then the body of the other cannot be seen. This is an extraordinary stone carving found in an ancient temple, but no one even bothers to document these carvings. The problem is there are illusions hiding everywhere. It appears that we need to look at ancient temples in a totally different angle. When seen with naked eyes, many things appear to be just decorative patterns. This appears like a floral pattern, and this appears to be a circle with 4 lines. But when we zoom in, this is not a floral pattern. There are 2 monkeys holding each other's limbs as though they're doing some kind of acrobatics. And this is not a circle. There are 4 elephants carved, and they appear to be drinking water out of a circular pond. What about this elephant carved on a temple tower? Why does he look like that? Does he have some kind of a weird skin disease or something? If we zoom in, we can see that its body is made of parrots or peacocks. Look at the tusks of the elephant. See how skillfully the sculptor has carved the birds inside to make it look like tusks. Nearby, we can see a similar carving. What about these birds? What are they doing? They're carved to make the shape of a horse. From the ground level, all you will see is a horse. But if you have sharp eyesight, or if you zoom in with a camera, then you get to see the birds. In this carving, there are 2 women carrying a palanquin on their shoulders. And inside the palanquin, there is a warrior. He's holding a bow and arrow. But there's something weird about the palanquin. The palanquin is not made of wood or metal. It is made of two human bodies. It is made of two women. This is really weird. You can see how their arms are outstretched on these two sides and how their legs make up the base of the palanquin. The ancient Hoysaleswara temple is known for its strange mysteries. But in this temple, there is a beautiful carving of Lord Krishna, who's the master of illusions. There's so much information packed in this one carving. We can talk about it for hours. Lord Krishna has just lifted up a hill called Govardhana. You can see a variety of animals, including monkeys and big cats. Various types of trees are shown. A hunter is actively hunting on the hill. And when Krishna lifted up the mountain, all the snakes hiding under the rocks have now dropped down to bite the person who has destroyed their natural habitat. But after seeing Krishna's beauty, they're mesmerized by him. The locals, both men and women, have all come about to see this spectacle, and they're all hypnotized by him. Even the cows have stopped giving milk to the calves. And the calves have also forgotten about their hunger and are satiated by just looking at Lord Krishna. And so are we, mesmerized by this great carving. Because wait, what is this video about? Optical illusions, right? In this carving, these three dancers have just 4 legs. There are a total of 3 people, so they're supposed to have a total of 6 legs, but they only have 4. And you can imagine them as you please. By the way, I don't think anybody knows about this optical illusion. No historian, no archaeologist, nobody would have noticed this because this is such a tiny little detail in this giant carving. And this temple has thousands of carvings like this, so it becomes impossible to notice this detail. So ancient builders put such stealthy optical illusions everywhere. Even if they're right in front of your eyes, you will never notice them because your attention is absorbed in other details. Look at this guy. What is he doing to this woman? And why is this woman trying to stop him by holding his hand? And you may have completely missed the missing leg here because you're lost in the drama. And if you noticed this illusion right away, that means you are brilliant. But if you noticed this illusion too, call me because I need researchers like you. Here, you can see 4 people, but they only have 7 legs. 1 leg is missing because these 2 guys believe that sharing is caring. Here, we have 3 people and they only have 5 legs because these 2 people are sharing legs. Here you can see 3 people and they only have 4 legs because they're all sharing legs. If you use your imagination, every dancer will appear happy and complete. But in reality, 2 full legs are missing. I've seen this type of carving in many temples, and I still keep finding them. These are dancing humans, but we can also see dancing demons. You can see the fangs on them sometimes, and sometimes they're overweight or deformed. And you will see 3 dancing demons, but they only have 4 legs. But the demons are also very good at Maya. They're tricking us right now because we're not looking at their hands. Let's count. There are only 4 hands for these 3 bodies. While humans do not share hands, the demons are also sharing their hands. This is why you should never trust demons. And if we do the permutations and combinations on this carving, for example, this can produce some crazy illusions. If you watch closely, you will start understanding the genius of ancient builders. I found this carving online. It is low quality, but what is this? Conjoined triplets or something? Here's a strange carving in a Hindu temple. It appears to be showing Siamese twins, but they're shown with some strange features. They have a weird smile and they have 7 hands. Yeah, 7 hands. It's not even symmetric. And here's a woman. She's a spider woman because she's got 6 legs. And of course, she doesn't really have 6 legs. The carving just shows the different positions of her legs. She is dancing. And then here's another carving with the same theme. You can see her 6 legs, but if you look carefully, you can also see 2 more legs. Yeah, she's doing a split for us. So she has actually got 8 legs. But here's another carving that shows 10 legs. I mean, this is just getting crazier and crazier. It is as if the ancient sculptors were competing with one another. Here's another carving that is also shown with 10 legs. There's a little bit of variation in this one, but if you ever find a 12-legged woman, please let me know. And sometimes the dancers are shown with just 2 legs, but they're shown with a lot of hands. A lot of people, even Hindus, may think these are multi-armed gods. But in fact, many times they're just regular dancers and the sculptor wanted to show a variety of hand movements and such. In this carving, you can see about 8 hands, and if you make them in reasonable combinations, you will get a lot of different views because the hands can be put in a variety of permutations and combinations, and you get a bunch of different postures. If you really start looking at the various combinations, you start to understand the real beauty of this ancient carving. It almost appears as though she's dancing right in front of your eyes. But this makes us wonder if the gods really had multiple hands, or were the sculptors merely trying to show their different postures or the various weapons and tools they used? When you saw the 8-legged woman, you didn't actually think she had 8 legs. You understood that the sculptor was just showing her different positions. But when we look at a god like this, why do we think he has 12 hands? Is it possible that the sculptor was just trying to show all the tools and weapons and how powerful the deity was? What do you think? This is the weirdest carving in this entire video. It shows a dancing woman with 2 legs, 2 hands, and 1 head. This is just a normal woman. And look at it. It just looks so weird that there's no Maya in this, no illusions, and you're now filled with a deep sense of disappointment. Here, you can see a giant statue of a warrior seated on a horse. But at the bottom, something strange is carved. What is that? Is that a dog? Does it have 3 heads? See how it is shown with 3 heads to show its head movement. We don't know if it is carved this way to show its movement, or if it is a 3-headed dog called Sharvara mentioned in Hindu texts. This is also very similar to Cerberus, a 3-headed dog mentioned in ancient Greek texts. Also notice what it is standing on. This is very strange, isn't it? This is a cow raising its head, and you can see how the sculptor has depicted that using 2 heads. Here you can see a cow with two heads. If you hide one head, you will see the cow licking a lingam at the bottom. And if you hide the other head, you will see the cow giving milk to the lingam. The implication is that the cow has become mesmerized with the lingam and takes care of it like a baby. This is a three-headed cow. This is not a bull. Some Indian cows do have humps, and if you hide these two faces, you can see the cow standing upright. And if you cover these heads, you can see a grazing cow. It is just enjoying some grass. And if you cover these two faces, you can see that it's licking its own belly. So it's not a mythical three-headed cow or something. The sculptor is merely showing the cow's movement. Today, we would show this as a video, but in ancient times, they were just showing it like this. And this is a very beautiful optical illusion. There are only two birds, two peacocks. I mean, they only have two bodies and two heads, and nothing seems to be shared between them. But the way the necks are carved is very odd. They're so devious that we can interchange the heads on the birds. So we get different views by altering our imagination. But there are some strange carvings found in ancient temples. Sometimes you will see a two-headed bird. It seems like an illusion where you hide one head and you see the bird like this. And if you hide the other head, it looks like this. But this two-headed bird is called Gandaberunda, and it has a very interesting story behind it. See what it is doing with its two legs and also its two beaks. Yeah, it is holding an elephant in each of its leg and its beak. But we missed an important detail. If you look carefully, you will see this animal as well. It looks like a lion, but it's actually an animal called Yali. Some say it's mythical, and some say it's an extinct prehistoric animal. And you can see these Yalis in many ancient temples. There are also many variations of Yalis. This is Simayali, which looks more like a lion, and this is Gajayali, which has the face of an elephant. Some Yalis also have wings and are capable of flight. And if you talk to elderly people in India, there are many strange stories about Yalis. These Yalis used to have their nests on remote mountain tops, and they also laid eggs like other birds. When a baby Yali hatched out of an egg, the mother or the father Yali would fly to the ground level and grab as many elephants as possible and take them back to the mountaintop. Why? These elephants were fed to the baby Yali, just like how young chicks are fed to a baby eagle. This is a fantastic story, and we don't know if this is true or not, but this story reveals something interesting. It shows the size of the Yali. If a newborn Yali could eat an elephant, imagine how big an adult Yali was. And if this two-headed bird could pick up a Yali in one leg or its beak, imagine how big the two-headed bird would have been. The Yali itself is carved with many heads in some temples. Here's a very fascinating carving where the Yali appears to be sitting in a squatting position. It has a lion-like face, but it also has horns like a ram. However, look at the sides. You can see there are Yalis carved on the sides as well, sharing the head. You can see this Yali here, and the neck is quite long, but it's sharing the face with the Yali in the center. And on the other side, you can see the same detail. So there are three Yalis sharing one head here. Here's another carving. From the front, it has a strange Yali-like face. And on the sides, you can see two human-like faces. It appears as if he's turning left and right and checking if someone is watching him. We can see an ancient pole dancer here, but he is a man. He is shown with one head but two bodies. And you can see how he's moving left and right without shaking his head because he's balancing a pot on top of his head. But this guy is nothing compared to this pole dancer. In the first position, he's kind of hugging the pole. In the second position, he's shown standing in a relaxed way. But in the last position, he's shown with both legs in the air, using the pole as a support. A brilliant carving showing several moves of the pole dancer. Here, you can see a carving of two fish, but they're sharing their heads. And if you hide the body of any one fish, you can see the other fish fully. But this is not just limited to two fish. You can also find carvings of three fish sharing just one head in the center. This seems to be a popular carving in ancient Indian temples. I've found several of them, and my favorite carving is this one. This type of fish seems to have an elongated snake-like body. It's not an eel, but it has a twisted, flexible body, and the optical illusion looks quite beautiful and really well made. Did you like the illusion of the monkey? No, the monkey. The monkey. You've seen a lot of optical illusions so far, but have you ever wondered why the sculptors carved them? Let's look at some of the reasons behind such carvings. Here, you can see a monkey with just one head, but it has four bodies. Superficially, it looks like a nice artistic optical illusion, but if you take a closer look, there is a deep philosophy hiding inside. This actually shows the life cycle of humans. During your young age, you spend most of your time playing. In the second stage of your life, you're obsessed with romance and making love. The third stage of your life is spent as an effect of your romance. You spend it raising your children. Notice the difference between the second stage and the third stage. They look similar, but they're not the same. Look at the tail here and see how this young kid is sitting on the back of its parent. The last stage is when you're really old, tired, and you just wait to meet your maker. Such deep meanings of life are embedded in ancient Indian carvings. But sometimes optical illusions are carved not for art or philosophy. Sometimes they show an event. Here's a beautiful carving. Can you tell me what's going on here? From the front view, it just appears as though a baby is drinking milk from a woman. But when you look at it from the side, you see something weird. There's another body lying down. The lower body is shared between these two figures. What's the meaning of this? This woman's name is Putana. According to ancient Indian texts, she's actually a demon disguised as a woman who wanted to kill baby Krishna. She filled her breasts with poisonous milk and began breastfeeding him. But baby Krishna was resistant to all sorts of poison, and he started sucking the life out of her. So the first stage shows her trying to kill Krishna, and the second stage shows her lying lifeless. Here's a carving. Immediately, you may be reminded of the three-legged dancing Shiva I showed you before. But this is not Shiva, this is Lord Vishnu, and he's not dancing. This is a story where Vishnu sends this king to the underworld. See how he is shown half sunk into the earth? Using the other two legs, Vishnu is measuring the earth and the sky. And look at this figure. Who is he and what is he doing? Let's take a look at this carving. You can see an illusion where this woman is shown standing upright in the first stage and shown buckling and falling down in the second stage. How do we decode what is going on? The first thing we notice is that this is not a woman. She's a demoness with her teeth coming out. You can see the furry eyebrows and large eyes popping out. And look at her hands. What is she holding in both hands? Stones. Yes, she's going to throw stones at this person who's shooting an arrow on her. This is mentioned in the ancient text of Ramayana, where a demoness by the name of Tadaka throws stones on Lord Rama and he kills her with a single arrow. Unless you've read this ancient text, it will appear as a simple battle scene between two people. So you'll see a lot of optical illusions like this carved in ancient temples, but you won't understand the story until you've read ancient Indian texts. Sometimes ancient optical illusions were not made to show philosophy or a story. Sometimes they were made for practical purposes. If you look at the corner of this ancient temple, you will see this elephant. And if you see it from the other side, you will see another elephant. But they're sharing one head. Why? Because it saves space. Ancient builders have effectively used the corner space available by sharing the head between the two bodies. But there are some carvings which have never been fully decoded. They contain some esoteric ancient secrets. Look at it. What do you see? Do you see a snake and a frog? Do you see a monkey feeding its baby? Or do you see a lingam? Found in an ancient temple at Hampi, this carving is just one example of many esoteric, ambiguous carvings. What are we supposed to infer from it? What about this carving? How many faces do you see? How many of them are animals? How many of them are human? What is the meaning of this carving? Sometimes there is a figure with 5 bodies, but has just one head. There are multiple versions of this optical illusion in different temples. But the underlying meaning is this. There are 5 elements called Panchabhuta, which make up our world: air, water, earth, fire, and space. And God is the shared face, the linking factor between all of them. And this carving is considered a lucky charm. Some people say if you look at it, it will bring you some good fortune within the next 7 days. But is it a bull or is it an elephant? A modern version of this illusion is all over the internet. Is this a duck or a rabbit or both? This illusion is called Rishabha Kunjara. And in every carving, you can see a bull and an elephant, but their faces are fused together. Why do they have so many carvings of these bull elephant illusion in so many temples? I hope you enjoyed watching more than 100 ancient optical illusions from India. I am Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, here's an
Okay, I thought that was cool. Let me play a piece of my new favorite song or band.
elikan ulgan mergen kızırgan numay guvara gupay goya jagana ayada günana yelana yelata bürküdür postengri azit suana zuada odana onata yarın rigurmez yalika lazbayanayka linnotigen wah. Kayra elikan ulgan mergen kızırgan numay guvara gupay goya jagana ayada günana yelana yelata bürküdür postengri azit suana zuada odana odada yarın rigurmez yalika lazbayanayka linnotigen wah.
I'm gonna go type. I'm giving mom and dad's to my son. They were gonna try and come by the other day, but they didn't make it. So I'm gonna have time to just retype a document. It has to have the legal description in it. It's a blank form. It's not a blank form, but it's a form to fill out. So I think I'll just retype it and put the legal description in instead of handwriting it. Anyway, I guess I will let y'all go and see y'all later on, probably. Much love. I'll see y'all later on. Bye.